Hello everybody, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator. It's your boy Jay here, Jagga107, the Howling White Wolf, and I am back in Car Mechanic Simulator, because I have found that I am stupidly addicted to this game, and I really do love playing it and building up these cars and all these other things. I was just getting the comments up on my phone. Okay, so it's already 1 in the morning and I'm starting this. Why? Because I god dang want to. Now, as you can see, I found myself a classic Mustang, or as the game calls it, a Salem Fastback, a Salem Spectre Fastback. I found this beauty in a barn, brought it back to my shop, and I've already changed out some body parts. I fixed up everything in the body. I believe I replaced all the glass, since you can't fix the glass. I replaced the tail lights with these nifty custom ones, because I actually found out a couple of things that I found out. If you go into the shopping menu, down here you've got tuning shop, body tuning shop, and custom gearbox shop. And these things essentially sell like aftermarket parts. For example, I'm gonna just go ahead and search here. The Salem Spectre. Yes. The Salem Spectre Fastback has a custom hood with a cutout, so you can put an engine with a supercharger blower to stick out of it. Custom headlights, custom tail lights. There's also custom pieces for the newer model Salem Spectre. Nice custom hood, front bumper, another bumper, custom tail lights, rear bumpers, headlights. Very good stuff. So I'm deciding to make this Mustang just as nice as possible. As you can see, the hood and this bumper here are new. The hood was a custom one. The bumper I had to replace because in the process of trying to fix the one that came with the car, I think I broke it. So that was a bit of a whoopsie daisy. Anyways, we got everything else fixed up, and it already came in this beautiful white color. And if you look under the hood, there's no engine. I already decided to yank the motor, and I was already working on one that I was building up. This is something else that I've discovered. You can actually build your own engines. You don't have to just take what's out of the car and rebuild it. That's actually the way you do an engine swap. You don't customize the motor that came with the engine. You have to build an all-new one. And I've actually done that. The black Chieftain TBX, whatever it was called, the Punisher reference car that I had, I put a big blower supercharged motor in that thing. And the funny thing is, there's no custom hood for that car that comes with the hole cut out of it. So the blower's just sticking up, it's clipping through the hood. Like, it looks really kind of goofy, but I don't even care. And the thing, I have it customized with the tuning part shops. You can get custom alternators, camshafts, air filters, fuel filters, carburetors, custom transmission parts, clutch plate, pressure plate, custom engine heads. About the only thing you can't customize is the engine block. You have to buy the stock block, but you can get custom heads, or rather performance-oriented heads. You can get custom camshafts. I don't know if you can get custom crankshafts. There's exhaust manifolds. There's actual exhaust pieces, more transmission stuff, the actual custom gearboxes, different transmissions that you can do. Yeah. The way I have that GTO, the Chieftain, it's making over 1,000 horsepower. I stuck it on the dyno, and I was like, holy crap, it's got 1,018 or something horsepower. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I've got this Mustang, and I wanted to put, like, the newer model, like, Mustang motor, because they have, like, a normal, it's like a newer model V8, and there's actually an option to make a supercharged one. Well, I actually already went ahead and made the damn thing, and found out that it won't go in this car. See, if you look in the car status, over here on the right-hand side, it says swap options. And there's V8 1 carb, 2 carb, 2 carb supercharged. There's a Hemi, there's a Mag, a 6P, a Windsor, and a 385. Now the funny thing is, the Windsor and the 385, I cannot find them anywhere in the list. To do it, you actually go over here to this engine stand, and you can hit this create new engine, and it gives you like a list of different things. And there's 4-cylinder, there's 6-cylinder options, V8 of course, a bunch of those, because everybody wants to do V8s. This guy, what I got right here, is a V8. It's a V8 OHVG engine block. And I don't know, I think it was something that was supercharged or something. I'm not really sure. But, yeah. Yeah, the suspension on this guy is kind of clapped out and gross. The wheels are kind of nasty. All the brakes, the rear suspension, everything. I just got the body fixed up. I just kind of got the car. I went ahead and cleaned up the interior and the frame and everything. Ooh, I like that. I kind of like that steering wheel. Wood grain. Looks like it's going to have to be replaced. The seats are kind of nice. Yeah. But anyways, I'm going to see if I can actually roll this thing into paint real quick, because I want to get the hood and the fender painted and match the rest of the car. Move. Paint shop. Okay, so we can just roll the thing into the paint shop. We don't need a motor in it. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and paint it the current color. It's the factory color. It's the color it came when I got it out of the barn, so there you go. That'll get the fender and the hood painted that nice white, metallic, or pearl, or whatever it was. It looks like a nice shiny metallic. I like this. I like the color. It looks really nice. Yeah. Okay. So take it back over to the lifter. Yeah. I've basically gotten to the point where I still have some upgrades to get in the skill tree, but the thing is, it actually locks you off from getting... See, I've got 2 skill points available. I can't get these upgrades, and I found out why. If you look down there at the bottom, it has numbers. Well, that's the level you have to get to before you can get those upgrades. And I found out that my level is actually up there in the top right. You see a round orange circle with what looks like a ramp and an arrow going upwards, and it says 37. That's your level. So I'm at level 37, and I need to get 3 more levels to get these 2 things. Trips to the junkyards, that's not going to matter. Discounted shops will help out. Examining 20 parts, and good to be lucky, yeah, whatever. I've got these 4 things to get left, and yeah, so it doesn't really matter. Right, so let's go ahead and get the car up on the lift. We're going to have to fix up the suspension and all this other stuff. Yeah, I've been spending a bunch of time fixing up the cars that I've bought. Ooh. That exhaust system is going to have to be replaced. Of course, I would have anyways. There's actually performance exhaust and mufflers and things that you can get. Let's work on building up this engine here. Oh yeah, look at the damn... There we go. See, this is a engine type that I have not messed with yet, I don't think. It's the V8 OHVG. So, anyways, go to the tuning shop. And we're just going to search for V8 real quick, because that'll give us everything. We got cams, camshaft, air filters, engine heads, which, I don't know, exhaust pieces, yeah, rear mufflers. I'm gonna need 2 of those guys. I hope I haven't already bought those. I got a bunch of parts and stuff. I've been going through barns looking for stuff. Okay, so we're going to part mount. We need a cam. Crankshaft is C, and the cam is also C. So if I can find OHVC, which is that guy, they don't have crankshafts, which is the one thing that's kind of disappointing. But if we come in here and look up V8, we can find a nice good old OHVC crank. Yeah, this is the block right here. $3 grand. I've also made the C block, which is, I believe, what they call the Magnum or the Mag. So, and it uses these orange head covers, and I think it uses the orange heads. I use performance heads, so. Okay. Okay, so we'll get the cam in there. And the crank. Cam gear V8OHV. That guy. And if I remember correctly, there is no version of that in the tuning shop. So you have to go with, yeah, because like some of the parts, you have to go with stock parts. Some of them, they actually have performance stuff like ignition stuff, ignition wires, fuel rails. They actually have performance spark plugs. They do have performance pistons. It's not those. Although I don't know, I might actually have to use those. I haven't had to yet on any of the V8 engines. I don't know what's up with that. But they have the power steering pump, and there's an alternator, and all these other good things. So, oh right, the cam gear. I need the cam gear. So back here, cam gear. Put that guy on, and then we need a timing chain. The chains are another thing that you also have to buy the stock versions. They don't have chains or belts or anything like that. Oops. No. Main timing chain ought to be way down towards the bottom. OHV, or was it F? F. Okay. Get that guy. That guy. And then the timing cover, OHVG, which is this guy. And the timing covers are another thing that, oh, I already had one with a +1. Well, great. This is an interesting water pump. We don't got one of those. We need an idler roller, the crank pulley, power steering pump for an I4B, alternator, regular alternator, V8 oil filter, another idler roller. Okay, so let's go find things real quick. Okay, so the power steering pump, I4, okay. Here's the alternator. And there was a power steering pump. Oh. Yes, performance fuel filter. I might already have a fuel pump, although I don't think so. And I should... well, I don't know. Ignition coils, coil B, distributors. We'll get to that stuff as we need it. Where was the power steering pump? Yeah, here's the pistons, regular pistons. 2 middles, we're gonna need those. Power steering pump for an I4B. Okay. That guy. The alternator. you know, we have a regular alternator, but I want my nice performance one. Oh, and there's the fuel filter. Put our nice performance guy. They're always red for some reason. Water pump. I don't think that's going to be a specialty thing. Yeah, they don't have water pumps, but they've got turbochargers, throttles, all different kinds of throttles, supercharger bits, air filters. There's the spark plugs. Do I have spark plugs? I've got a bunch of engines actually in my storage. This is the V8 supercharged, the newer model Mustang supercharged motor. I tried to build it, well I did build it, and found out that I couldn't put it in the Mustang, so I'm like, ah crap. And these other two engines are old engines that I yanked out of other cars and replaced. One of them came out of my El Camino, the other one came out of the second Chieftain that I have, the blue one. I made up another motor for the Chieftain, or for that guy anyways. And then the V8 2-carb OHV, I think that's the one that I yanked out of the Mustang. Did I buy spark plugs? I got a bunch of stuff in here that I got pistons because I'm stupid and I bought a bunch of crap. I've got regular fuel pumps. I can sell this junk. The battery I can recharge. Oh, I did buy too many fuel pumps. Shit. Sell it. Of course, I probably didn't need to. Sell the timing cover. I bought a second one of those. Now, real quick, let's put that battery on the charger. And here's the funny thing. Look how quick it is to finish. Ding, done. Yeah, and it's already 100%. Come on. Okay. Yeah, those came out of this guy. I got the brake servo. I got the radiator I need to put back in. Okay, so let's get back to this guy here. Okay, so we need this water pump still. Gonna have to go into the main shop for that. Water pump, OHVG. This is a weird looking water pump. Okay, so 2 idler roller A's, a water pump pulley, and a crank pulley. Okay, so that's a supercharger water pump pulley. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go search. Get the 2 pulleys. We got a water pump pulley. What kind of crankshaft pulley? V8 OHV. That guy. Okay, put him on. Crank it down. Put this guy on. Boom. And I believe this motor is going to end up being supercharged. I'm not sure though. Idler rollers. 2 of A. Yeah, no tuning custom idler rollers. Okay, now we got us a couple of belts. Or at least one. V8 OHVG serpentine belt. OHVG. OHVG. There you go. Oh, and then a belt tensioner. One of these guys. There you go. And apparently that's it for the front of the motor. Okay, we got an oil filter we need to yank. Pistons, piston rings. There are tuning pistons. Hold on a second. Do I have any pistons? No. Okay. So, back in here, we can find our friggin' pistons. Where'd they go? Piston with con rod. It's not anything else. V8OHVC. So it actually is the different ones of these guys. Okay. So, I think I bought one of those. Did I put that in storage, maybe? I've got a bunch of stuff. There it is. Okay. I don't know if there's anything I can use. V6. Push rods, all these other goofy things. Okay, well I got my other piston. Now we just need the piston rings. And the funny thing is, well, I don't know how funny it is, but there's no performance or tuning version of those. You don't see any piston rings. You have to use the normal ones. So, oh wait, they would actually be OHVC. So, 8 of those guys. Alright. Okay. Come over here. I've got a +1 on something. Oh. Okay. Cool. OHVG engine heads. Now, should be able to find those in here. V8 OHVG engine heads. I have H, I have K, another H and another K. Regular OHV. They don't have them. Are you kidding me? I was finding that with one of the other motors I tried. No, they don't have them. Lame. Very lame. I don't know if the developers of the game are just waiting on adding that stuff into the game, or I don't know what the deal is. Either way, V8. Okay. We got heads for engine head A, G, that guy, and then B. So one's for one side and one's for the other side. And we're also going to need covers. The covers, they never have performance ones. So there's A for G and B for G. Okay, so stick that guy on there. It's really kind of weak that they don't have performance. And I already had one of those. Intake manifold. How about exhaust manifolds? I should go look and see if I have any of that stuff in my parts warehouse before I go using it without. Yeah, so just search for V8. regular V8. So that's all we got, huh? Nothing else. Okay. Well, alrighty then. Okay, intake manifold. I think they have a performance mod of that one. Intake manifold. Come on, where's the intake? Ignition wires. Intake manifold. V8. Oh, tell me they have it. Come on. It's OHVG. I have OHVKH. Man. So I guess that's a no. I guess they just don't make too much of the performance-oriented stuff for this G motor. I'm probably just wasting a bunch of money on a motor that's probably not even going to be all that good. How about manifolds? Exhaust manifolds. Exhaust manifolds. OHVG. They don't have those either. But they kind of look like these GH ones. Do the H ones work? I don't want to spend the money if they ain't gonna work. Plain V8 OHV, OHVK. It seems like there's parts in the games for motors that you can't even build yet, which is weird. Okay, exhaust manifold, OHVG. I guess we'll just use the stock ones. And then we've got... okay, 2 spark plugs. Well, that's kind of interesting. So I'm gonna need friggin' 16 spark plugs. And the OHVF push rods. Okay, so spark plugs, we do have tuning options. Spark plugs, where the fuck did they go? There we go. And apparently we need friggin' 16 of the dang things. I'm just hoping I didn't already have some, because I might have. Those guys and the push rods. I don't think they have custom push rods. No. It's such a small part, of course they wouldn't care. Back before that. Oh, and I think it's a V8 oil filter. Yeah. Mr. Yellow Guy. And they don't have custom oil filters. They got custom air and custom fuel. I already got the intake. No, I didn't. So give me that guy. Where's the push rods? Okay. Push rods, and it was V8 OHVF, correct? Yes. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so another 16 of those. Okay. Nice performance spark plugs. Come on. Come on. Okay. It's so hard to see these stupid things. Okay. Yep. Okay, now. Rocker arms, OHVG. Oh. I don't have those under performance, do we? Rocker arms? No. OHVG. We're going to need 2 sets of those, 1 for each side, I believe. Yes. Cool, that's interesting. And then the engine head we already bought. And then we got some weird ignition coils. We already got the intake manifold. We got fuel rail DIs and a throttle for a V6B. Okay, well, let's take a look at this head now. Let's put our plugs in. And the push rods. Another spark plug, and one last bloody push rod, and then the rocker arms, and we'll lock them down nice and tight. And the head cover. Hold on. Okay. Alright, and then we need these weird ignition coils. See if we can find those in the performance shop. Ignition coils. Oh. OHVK, which kind of looks similar, maybe. Maybe not. Dang, they don't freaking have them. Buy one real quick and see if it'll work. Oh, okay. So I guess I have to use the stock ignition. V8 OHVG. And we need 8 of those guys, I guess. These are some weird ass things going on here with this crap. Oh. Okay, and then we've got the fuel rail DI. I'm pretty sure they have those in the tuning shop. Fuel rail DI. Get 2 of those guys. Bing. Bang. Now what are these? Timing covers. Timing cover A, timing cover B. I don't think they're going to have any of those in performance. Probably not. Yeah. B, V80HVG, and then A. Oh, so apparently this is some kind of Hemi. Ah, you know what? I think this might be the motor that comes in the Jeep. One of the new model Jeeps. I6B throttle. Do I got one of those in my warehouse? I6B throttle. No. Okay. Gonna have to buy one of those guys. And I think they have a performance one. They should. Throttle I6B. Oh, you better be kidding me. They don't freaking have one. Are you kidding? Damn it. B6B. That actually kind of looks similar. I should probably just search for throttle. I6B. You sure that's not supposed to be V6B? It is V6B. I'm stupid. V6B. That guy. I'm dumb. There. Lock her down nice and tight. And that's it for the top end. Wait, I got an oil filter. Let's get the oil filter on there. And then we need to flip her upside down so we can close up the bottom end. And we're going to do that. We got rod caps we got to put on. And crankshaft bearing caps, which once again they don't sell those in the performance thing because they're a really stupid little piece, so we're just going to look for caps. Because we got crankshaft bearings, usually got 3 of those, and the rod caps. I don't see any rod caps. Oh, there's rod cap. It doesn't need special kind of rod cap. Nope. Okay. So, 8 of those guys. Boom. I hope I didn't already have those, because I might have. Okay. Looks like we're clear. Okay, we'll do our crank bearing caps. 3 of those guys real good and easy and everything. Okay. Oh yeah, you know what? This probably won't work in the Mustang either. Last 2, and then we're going to have to buy an oil pan because I don't think we have one for this motor. V80HVG. Wouldn't happen to have one in the warehouse, would I? We got a regular V8. Nope. Okay. So an oil pan for the OHVG. And they don't have performance versions of those, because it's an oil pan, who cares? V80HVG. That guy right there. Kind of a funky shape, but whatever. We'll lock the bastard down nice and good. Come on. Flip it back over. That's a pretty good looking motor, yeah? Looks pretty good, man. It probably won't work. Okay, do we have our flywheel? No. Flywheel. I think I have the other stuff, though. Perhaps. I got regular clutch plates. No, we want good clutch plates. Yeah, you can actually put this stuff on there while the engine is on the mount here. And I can even get the clutch release bearing, which there is no tuning version of that, so you have to use the stock one. Okay. V8 OHVG. Doesn't look like there is a transmission for that, so who knows. But the motor's done. Yeah, I don't see anything else that I'm missing. We got the fuel filter, the oil filter. The thing doesn't seem to have an air filter, which means it probably won't work with the Mustang. Take off engine from the crane. Okay. Bring the car down real quick. We're going to use our hoist or crane. Move over to A. And we're going to see if we can use it. Install. And that's a no. It's only given me the two V8s, the three V8s, the two 1-carbs and the 1-2 carb. This is really grinding my balls in a salad shooter. Well, I don't know what I just built that engine up for. See, here, let me show you this. Create new engine. When you pick that, you get all these options. Different i4s and i6s and turbocharged i4. And that's the normal Mustang engine. It's a V8. Pretty nice. You get a V8 1-carb, 2-carb, a V8 4x4, V8 2-carb OHV supercharged, which is what I put in my Chieftain. The V8 supercharged, which is what I made, which is basically it's like the new model V8, but it's supercharged. You got an i3 turbocharged, another i4, i4 4x4, i6 OHV, rotary for Mazda cars, a V6, AKZ, bunch of weird things. The Magnum, which is what I put in my El Camino, OHV 6P, i4, V8 Hemi, which I think is what I just made. V6 AQE, and that's the last one. I can't go any further. So, I don't know what the hell. I guess I'm just going to have to settle for doing one of these 2-carb OHV supercharged. Ah, jeez. V8 OHV, I think it was. Yes. You know, before I go and drop another 2,500, that one should have a V8 OHV block on it, as well as a bunch of the other parts that I'm probably going to need. And I think that's the one that came stock with it. So let's, yeah. She's rusty as hell, but we'll take it apart and we'll clean her up and we'll fix her up. It's missing head covers. Yeah. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and take everything apart then. Couple of carbs we can probably... No, we won't, because we'll be using the performance carbs. Okay, intake manifold. Okay, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at here. Clips. We can use the clips. Belts, pulley. Unfortunately, we can't fix these pulleys. Kind of sucks, but oh well. Oops. Take off the power steering pump, fuel filter. Manifolds. As I recall, there's performance versions of the exhaust manifolds, so we'll be able to get nice versions of those. Like I said, the one that I put in my Chieftain had over like 1,000 horsepower, so we're probably going to end up with the same result on this guy. Of course, I could just take the one out of my Chieftain because it's... I've actually test-driven the thing, and it's really hard to control with all that power. It wants to spin the tires like crazy. So you gotta be real easy on the gas pedal. We're missing a couple of rocker arms. And pretty much all the ones here are junk. And you can't fix them, so it wouldn't even matter even if they were here. Push rods. And the head. Oh, block. Some of these rockers look decent, but they're probably still won't matter. We're just gonna have to buy all new stuff. Well, maybe not all new. Oh, we're missing a couple more rockers. Oh well. Okay. So, can't get to the crank. Oh, take off the timing cover. Take off the chain, the cam gear, yank the cam. Okay. Okay. I've I've gotten pretty good at doing this because it's fairly simple, just taking everything apart. One more bearing cap for the crank, and 2 more rod caps. Take it all the way out. Last rod cap. Okay. Now we can yank the pistons, and then the crank, and then the block. Take out the piston, 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 and piston. And then the crank, and the block. And then we need to go over here to the friggin' repair bench and see what all we can fix. The crank will be helpful because they don't have performance versions of those. The rod caps. Power steering pump, probably not. It got broke anyways. The cam, we can get a performance one. The clips, the manifolds won't be useful. The clips, the timing cover, the intake won't be very useful. Can we save the block? Yes. Yeah. I actually had that happen once. I found an engine block at a barn find location, and I brought it back to the garage and went to repair the thing, and it just like instantly broke. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I spent a good couple $100 on that thing, buying it from a, you know, barn find, just to break the damn thing trying to fix it. Okay, so we fixed up as much as we could. Engine stand. Add engine to the crate. Not the Hemi. Okay, so I'm going to have to create new engine. Again. And that was the supercharged V8 2-carb. Excuse me. And again, thank you. Okay. So there, we at least have a block that we can work with now, as well as a few other parts. The crank we have to reuse, and everything else that I can see right now is all performance stuff that I'm going to be doing. So, into the shop. Tuning shop. Well, let's get that guy, and that guy. And we'll search back the V8 stuff. And it should be a regular V8 OHV cam, yes. That guy. 2 OHV heads, I think. Pretty sure. OHV manifolds should be. V8 power steering pump and a regular alternator, so we'll get. Do I already have the power steering pump? I might. I got a broken one and I got a fixed up normal one, but not a performance one. Okay, so we're gonna need V8 ignition wires, spark plugs, okay, the alternator. We're gonna need 2 4-barrel carbs, I believe. Got the heads already. Head covers are gonna be stock. The exhaust manifold. Did I buy the exhaust manifold already? I don't think so. Well, let's put on... No. Put on what we got here. The nice one. And our alternator. That guy. Really should sell the other ones that I have. We got the cam. Nice performance guy. V8OHV oil thing. Ignition coil. 2 regular ones. One a good one. Can't fix the ignition distributors. Cam gears. Can't fix those either. Fuel filter. Fuel filter. I still have fuel pumps, so I'm not going to make the mistake of buying those again. Ignition coil, distributor. We're going to need the rotor and the cap. We've got clips that we can use. Okay. Okay, we'll get the fuel filter on there. Nice. That guy. High power output. You bet your ass it is. And the rotor. Nice one of those. And the nice cap. And the clips we can reuse because they're regular simple clips. There's no performance ones. Boom. So that's done. We need a regular old cam gear. No, it's a V8 OHV. Yes. That guy. And then the timing chain. Timing chain for V8 OHV, probably that guy. And then the timing cover we fixed up, we can reuse that guy. Okay, water pump, no dice. Pulley, also can't fix that. That's a water pump. V8 OHV. Trying to find anything else that I'm gonna need. We're putting a supercharger on it, so it'll probably be that guy. And probably the V8 starter. I don't think there's performance starters. The scoop air filters, we're gonna have to get those because they don't sell performance versions, I don't think. Okay. Water pump. Supercharger water pump pulley. I already had one. Damn it! Yeah, crank pulley. It's gonna be way up top here. Oh, there it is. 08V. And we're gonna need serpentine belts. V8OHV, B and A. I'm gonna need the serpentine belt for the supercharger. And then there's belt A and B. Those guys. I guess I have more stuff to mount first. Yes, okay, so let's grab pistons from the performance shop, and those are going to be regular old pistons, Conrod, 8 of those suckers, and then the main shop for piston rings, 8 of those guys, yeah. And I've got a bunch of normal pistons. That's going to slow things down. really should just sell those. And I need to get the performance heads, because I know there's performance heads for this. And one more. No. Why can't I just go back and select again the piston that I want? Don't exit out of the friggin' menu, just... I do have them already. Yes. Dope. Performance heads, bro. Other side, same deal. Now we're gonna need push rods and rocker arms and the exhaust manifold. I've got a really nice one, so I bought one that I didn't need. Of course I did. I kind of feel like they should differentiate between left and right manifolds, because they do actually have to be made differently. It's just like the heads, you know, you got a left one and a right one. Okay, the supercharger intake I don't have. I think I might have one in... Get out of my damn way, stupid crap. Okay. Do I know? Oh, no, I don't. Okay, so I'm going to have to buy one of those, too. God dang. Okay, and I don't think they have performance version of that, the supercharger intake. The only supercharger thing they have is this, and I don't... V80HVK. So, I don't know. Do I have spark plugs? I do not think I do. I should probably go ahead and sell everything that's junk. I've got old spark plugs. Yeah, just go ahead and sell everything that's junk. Anything that's below or equal to 99, bye-bye. Half the stuff for the transmission. I got an extra one of those I don't need. I probably don't have enough rod caps because I think I broke one. The old cam. I may end up needing that for a job. And the oil pan. A lot of these parts I may end up needing for a job, so I'm going to hang on to them. I've still got my mufflers. I got the battery and the servo and the radiator I need to put back in there. Drive shaft. These stupid pistons. I may end up needing those too. Oh! What are these parts? I don't know. Either way. Alright, the supercharger. Excuse me. Supercharger intake manifold OHV, I believe. Yes. One of you. Lock it down. And they don't actually have the supercharger in the tuning thing, so I have to get this guy. And I already had one. Why don't I check before I do this crap? And we're going to use the nice 4-barrel performance carbs that I got. And we don't have any of the scoop air filters. And they don't actually have them in the tuning shop, even though they've got other air filters, and they've got the side-mounted ones. they don't got the scoop air filters, which I think is kind of crap. Two of those guys. And I'm not sure if I have an air scoop or not. Probably not. But we'll pop those guys on there. Bing, bang, boom. And then the scoop. Nope. Okay. So, buy one of those guys. Pop it on. Okay. We can put the serpentine, that guy, and then the last belt, the other one, and then the radiator fan. Which I don't think they have a performance version of that, but I'm going to check real quick. Look for fan. Nothing. Okay, so yeah. All we got to do is get the oil filter. And that's an OHV, I believe. Yes. Boom. Oh, we're also going to have to... Okay, we still have to seal up the cylinder heads. Or the engine heads, rather. We need plugs. Do we have spark plugs? No. Okay. Get those performance plugs. There they are. 8 plugs, and then we need the push rods. And I believe those are just regular standard push rods. 16 of them bastards. Rocker arms, we need 16 of them. And then we're going to need the heads, the head covers on the motor. Head cover V8, OHV, A, and B. We got the spark plugs. We already got the ignition wires. Yeah. Okay. As I had this idea the other night when I was playing, I would really love to have a racing game, something like a Forza Horizon or something like that, where you have this much control over the parts that go into your car. You know, being able to put together motors like this with, you know, high performance tuning parts and that kind of stuff like I've done here. But being able to do it with the suspension as well and the brakes, because there's plenty of brake, you know, companies. You have stuff like I think Eibach is a company that does brakes. Brembo. There's a lot of companies that do like high performance car parts, and it isn't just, you know, engine pieces or transmission pieces or exhaust. Like I said, there's brakes, there's brakes, there's wheels and tires, there's, again, the exhaust, suspension. The suspension is another thing that's a big one. I can't believe that there's no performance like suspension parts, because having a performance suspension, you know, better pieces that are adjustable, you know, give you better handling, which for Mustangs, that's actually something about Mustangs. They've actually been known to be very prone to spinning out, especially the newer model ones, you know. Very few people use them as like drifting vehicles, even though it is pretty cool when they do one. They got to put a lot of work into the suspension to make it handle good, because again, those things were pretty prone to spinning out unless you really knew what you were doing. This motor, I do not have to worry that it'll be able to go into the Mustang. I know it'll be able to go in. I mean, they had a hood made for the damn thing so that the blower could stick out of it. Okay. Get the other cylinder head on. And then we'll put the nice performance wires. Very nice. And that whole thing is all wired up. The only thing should be left is... Okay, we're going to do the transmission stuff. We got a flywheel. We got the clutch plate. Nice performance one. Pressure plate. I did not buy the release thingamajigger, but we'll get to that in a second. In fact, right now, gearbox. That guy. And the gearbox is probably just going to be a standard V8 OHV gearbox. Don't know if I already have one of those. We need to finish up the bottom half of the engine. So rotate her around to the bottom half. Okay. Nope. We've got all three of the crankshaft bearings. We might have to buy one rod cap, because I think I broke one trying to repair it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Yeah, so I'm going to need to buy one of those guys. And they don't have performance versions of that, so... Okay. We got all 8 of those guys. Put on 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7 and 8. And we already have the oil pan. We fixed up the one that must have had another one left over from somewhere. I gotta stop buying parts before checking to see if I actually have them already. Okay, take off the engine from the crate. Now, crap, I had to move that thing back. Move to A. Bring the car down. I still have to do the exhaust and the suspension front and back, wheels and tires. Pop the hood real quick. Install. Supercharged. 2 carb. Boom. Oh yes. Oh yes, look at that beast. Now with the hood closed. Oh yes. Look at that beast. Yes. Okay. I also need to put the brake servo in there. I took the thing out and replaced or repaired it. Got the battery charged up. We got the radiator fixed. Okay. We're gonna get to the transmission and stuff. We need to do the suspension front and back. See, this is another thing that I really wish they would let you do, is actually change out suspension things for different parts. Because these older cars usually come with leaf springs. Leaf springs are crap. They are not very good for high performance stuff. So really, it would be nice to be able to put different rear axles, because the axle itself is a leaf spring rear drive axle. And I've actually bought other axles hoping that I could change them out, and it won't let me do it. And another one is these rear drum brakes, which are also crap. And these shoes, And the cylinders, solid rear drive axles. I'd really like to be able to put newer stuff on these older cars to give them better suspension, better handling, that kind of stuff. Alright, you take out the small rubber bushings. And that means I'm going to have to get a bunch of new ones. I can't take out the free... Oh, right. Something goofy with these rear mufflers. You have to look at a specific part of it to take them off. It's... Oh, oop. The fuel tank. There you go. Take out the fuel pump and the fuel tank. We're just going to completely restore this car, basically. Replace or repair absolutely everything we can. The tires are going to have to go. We're going to replace the rims if we can, or repair the rims. I don't know, I kind of feel like I want to put something a little bit sportier on the Mustang. You should see the wheels that I put on my Gremlin. I put some, like, okay. Yeah. I found some cool looking rims for the Gremlin. Okay, bushings, and the other bushing. These bushings are crap. They look to be 35%. Terrible. Take off the rear end. Okay, rear end's all taken apart. Broke something. Okay, let's see what we fixed up. We fixed up the rear drive axle. Yay. And we fixed up both leaf springs. Whoop-de-doo there. Got both of the knuckles. Broke one of the wheel hubs. And none of this stuff is in tuning because there's no suspension stuff whatsoever. Need the rear wheel hub. What the hell's it called? Wheel hub 2 maybe? 4. Put that new guy on there. Rear drive axles. Need one of those guys. Solid rear drive axle. We fixed one of the cylinders. Both brake shoes. And right, you can't fix the drums. So, 2 of those guys. Okay. Now we need the... Alright. Did we fix up the leaf spring plates? Only one of them. Do we need any bolts? No, all the bolts are good. Fresh plate. Bolt number 1. Bolt number 2. Okay. fuel tank. That guy. Wait, yeah. Fuel pump. We've got a good fuel pump. Performance fuel pump. We need rear shock absorber B. Rear shock B, 2 of those guys. You can't fix the shocks. Kinda sucks. But whatever. And the only thing we need is the bushings. Oops, shit. For those guys. Suspension done. Once we get the wheels fixed up. Okay. Put our good mufflers on there. Real good mufflers. Yeah, boy. We got the middles too. Okay. Alrighty. No. Part mount. There we go. We don't got those guys. Front exhaust pipe OHV C. See if we have those. Front exhaust pipe VOHC. Doesn't look like it, and I came across this problem on the El Camino, I think it was. They have the regular OHVs, but they don't have the OHVCs. And there's something here about a Carrera GT. That sounds like a Porsche. I haven't seen any Porsches in this game. So again, unless that's something they're going to add later on. But until then, I don't know. OHVC. 2 of those guys. Boom. And boom. Exhaust is all hooked up. Oops. Get our clutch bearing. Gearbox. We have 3, but I would really like the performance one. Down here. V8 OHV. Pop that guy in. No. The nice one. I think I have a starter. And I don't think there's any performance ones. Okay, I guess I don't have one. There's no performance drive shaft either. A starter. A V8 starter. That guy there. Oh, man. Alrighty. Oh, boy. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff to do for the front end. Bunch of rubber bushings to buy. About 12, I believe. Sorry for the delay. I'm trying to clean out my eyes. I'm getting gunk and crap in them. Was out working all damn day, sweating my ass off in the bastard heat. Oh, excuse me another moment. Okay. Alright then. We gotta get the, is that the good? Yeah, that's the good gearbox. Okay. There's no performance battery either, which is kind of lame, but oh well. Okay. Let's get the stuff we know we're gonna need. Again, probably about 12 of those. 4 for the cross member, 2 for the upper, and 2 for the lower suspension arms, and that's 2 on each side, so it should be about 12. There. We're going to need to make 2 double wishbone shocks, because the ones we have we cannot fix. We're going to need a sway bar, probably. The front end links, are those A's or B's? B's. Which means the sway bar is probably a B as well. Sway bar. I think I already have 2 sway bar B's. I was getting confused about that. Where the hell did that crap go? Suspension. No, I have A's. I bought A's and I didn't need them. I also have 2 front shock absorber A's, which I don't need. I have a bunch of parts that I don't need for crap that I don't have. Okay, well, not sorting, sell. And don't worry, it doesn't sell the groups, so I don't have to worry about losing the wheels or the junk motors that I haven't fixed up. Okay, so I need the front end link B's, probably a front sway bar B. Yes, that's a sway bar B. One of those guys. The 2 shocks. Front, if we get crap. Do I have caps already? I might have caps, and I might have springs. No. Okay. 2 caps, 2 springs, and then the double wishbone front shocks. Boom. Okay. We're going to need inner and outer tie rod bars, or tie rods. Excuse me. 2 of those guys. We're going to need brake parts, pads, front ventilated. Okay, so 2 pads, 2 ventilated. The calipers we can probably fix. The cylinders we can probably fix when I got a couple of cylinders spare anyways. We already fixed the servo. It doesn't have ABS, which is a shame. We really wish I could fix that. Okay. Yanking stuff off. Let's get to the yanking. Oh, we're gonna need wheel hubs and caps and bearings, because you can't fix those guys. 2 of those, 2 of the caps. Okay, yank the pads, the ventilated. The bearing, the hub, knuckle cover. Go ahead and yank the shock. Upper suspension arm. Lower suspension arm. the knuckle. And let's take a look at the cross member. And we're going to yank the bushings. Got to take those out before we can yank the cross member. And we will have to yank the cross member. We're going to fix him. Okay. That caliper looks like it can be fixed. Oops. Yeah, well, that helps us get to the bearing a little bit easier. Whoa. Where the hell am I? Okay. Okay. Yank the wheel hub. Knuckle cover. Sway bar. Tie rod. The steering rack, we'll see if we can fix that guy instead of having to buy a new one. The knuckle, and then the cross member last. We'll come over here to the repair bench. Broke the steering rack. Broke that guy. Okay. We didn't break the damn cross member, did we? No, we got the cross member. We broke the steering rack. Okay. Put in the rack. Sway bar. We got tie rod bars. Or tie rods, whatever you call them. Both of the knuckles were saved. Get those guys tied up real good. Put on the sway bar. Oh. Look at the cross member and we'll put the rubber bushings in. Oops. Okay, the sway bar link. I need to go put together the shocks. Almost forgot. Not the fronts, but the double wishbones. Oh boy. I might end up needing those front shocks for something. A job that I might take or something. Okay. Part and mount. Put our nice new shock in there. Very nice. We broke one of the front axle knuckle covers. That guy. There we go. How about the wheel hubs? We broke one of those too. Good thing I just searched for front. Front wheel hub. already got the bearings and the hubcaps. We already got the ventilated discs. We got pads. Fixed up the calipers. We're waiting on rims. That's the last thing we need to do. This side is done. I just need to get the rims going. Okay. Double wishbone shock in the bank. Knuckle cover. Oop. Front wheel hub. Hub. Cap. Brakes. Pads. Calipers. And done. Now, all that's left is the wheels. We need to separate all those crusty, rusty old wheels from the crappy old tires. We're going to see if we can repair the rims, and we're going to get some new tires, because the tires cannot be fixed. That one looks like it'll be able to be salvaged or repaired. Okay. Now, what kind of tires do you guys think I should put on these rims? Okay. Okay, we repaired all 4 rims. I'm kind of thinking of something with like smaller tires in the front and bigger ones in the back. Do like a drag, not like a drag car, but kinda. I think that's drag car style. Okay. For that, we need to go into the tire shop. Race tires, race tire B. Don't want slicks. We got vintage tires, standard tires, sport tires. I kind of like those vintage tires. I think those are the kinds that came on them. Okay, what size are the rims, first of all? Okay, sell the old double wishbones. They're junk. Vintage tire B, 15. Okay, so 15-inch rims. And we got two 15/65s. All the way around. Two 15/65. Might as well go ahead and sell all of the junk parts that I have. Okay, so 15-inch. Width. I want some wider ones in the back. So let's say 225s and a profile kind of thick. 60s. Yeah. And then we did 225s, do 205s, and make those 45 profile. So they'd both be narrower and thinner. Okay. Stop. careful when I put these on. I want to make sure I put the right ones on the front that I do on the back. I suppose I could be balancing those while they're doing the other ones. Oh yeah, that one's a little thinner. I think that was the last one. Okay, that's the last one. Okay, we got one balanced. We're going to do the second one. It's 3 in the morning. Oh, man. Okay. And I believe this is the last thing I have to do before the car's done. Put the wheels and tires on. Suspension, front and back is already done. We got the motor, everything in the engine bay, the battery, the radiator, the brake servo, all that stuff's done. All the body pieces are fixed. Okay. Alright then. Part mount. The 6225s. Nice big ones on the back. Ooh. Those look a little big. They might not fit. Nope. The 205-45s. Little donuts. Can't really tell that one's wider than the other. Or did I screw those up and make them backwards? That's the 205-45, 225-60. So no, they're both thicker and wider. Should be anyways. Alright. She should be done. Ooh. I like the way that looks. The only thing I really need to look at is the seats. Oh my goodness. The hood doesn't seem to close all the way. What the hell? Huh. Okay, well. Oh, hold on. There's one thing I forgot. I need to put oil in the engine. I always forget that. Ah, boy. Okay, we got oil in the engine. Did I put the drive shaft? I put the drive shaft in. Yeah, I put the drive shaft in. Drive shaft, transmission, everything should be in there. Okay. Now, we want to move her over to the garage entrance because I want to take a look at the inside, and you can't open the door when it's on the lifter. Disassemble, seat, bench, and the steering wheel. Okay. Need to go to interior shop. Bench. Ooh. It's called the Spectre, right? Fastback. Well, first let's take a look at what we got here. bench fastback. And the seats, I don't really care what's in there. I'm not putting in the same stuff. And the steering wheel, I don't really like that one. Okay, so the fastback bench. And the seats. I like these racing seat kind of looking things. And we're going to do that design. And then we need steering wheel. Okay. What kind of steering wheel do we want to put into this beauty? Not the stupid chain one. That one's too dumb and cliche. Jeep, no. Typhoon, TBX. Huh. Oh, crap. Lots. M3. Huh. I think I actually used this one before on my Punisher Chieftain. What the hell? This one doesn't hardly have any spokes. How the hell do you steer? Well, I guess you can just hold on to the wheel itself. But, like, you gotta have more spokes, man. It's a shame that there's not more options. There's none that are like white. Other than the stupid chain one is like a silvery. Oh. That one's kind of interesting. Let's do that one, I guess. Okay, so... No. Interior disassemble, and then you have to go into interior assemble. Put in the new bench, the seats, and the steering wheel. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I really like this thing, dude. The interior's done. We got the exterior looking. The only thing I regret is that I can't put a nice spoiler on this thing. Nice spoiler. Maybe, like, change the grill a little bit, because, I mean, it's kind of plain Jane. I don't think I did a custom front or back bumper. It's the normal stock chrome, or maybe that is the special one. I'm going to have to change those license plates, but this thing looks so nice. We got to dyno test this bitch. So I want to see. It should be making around the same 1018 or so horsepower that the one in the GTO did. This thing looks bitchin' though. Yes. Oh my goodness. The factory engine power was only 498, which is nothing to sneeze at, don't get me wrong, but if I'm getting up over 1,000, 943, okay, well that's not quite as much. I don't know how it lost horsepower from the other car. I'm pretty sure I put all the same parts in it. Oh well. We're going to the abandoned airport. And we're gonna drive this baby around. Alrighty. Once we get done driving this baby, I think we're gonna be done for the night because I've been going for probably 2 hours, getting close to 2 hours actually, and all I've been doing is working on this one car. Oh my god, putting together the engine took so long, and fixing up the suspension front and back took so long, and god dang. Ooh. See the change the camera, weird side cam. Oh yes. Oh yeah, she's wanting to slide. And I didn't even touch the steering and it went sideways on me. Drift in, yeah. Trying not to go so hard on the gas because I want it to hook up and go. Ooh, crap. You also can't do burnout, which I really hate. See, if I hit both triggers at the same time, nothing happens. I let go of the gas, it'll spin the tires like a burnout, but you can't hold the brakes and do like a nice brake stand burnout. It's a shame that there's no option to try and do manual transmission shift yourself. The thing is turning without me even telling it to. Jesus! And these guys actually claim, I believe, that the physics engine in their game is actually really good. I'd have to balk at that one. Because this is really bad. It should not be sliding this much. I like those taillights, though. Oh my god. I am not even putting on the gas that much. It just has so much power and so much torque. Purse purrs and Turks. Man, I tried to control that drift as best as I could. Oh god. I really wish I could live stream Forza Horizon 3 because I have that game, and I know it's outdated because they have Horizon 4 out now, but Horizon 4 is in, like, England, and I've never thought, like, England was a very interesting place, especially for racing, you know? The setting of the game is very important, and I just don't think that England is going to make for very interesting racing or anything. You know, the first game, oops. The first game was in Colorado. Okay, that one's kind of boring too. Well, the map itself actually wasn't that bad. The second one, I didn't play the second Horizon game all that much. But I remember there was a bunch of Fast and the Furious tie-in stuff. I think it was somewhere in Europe, like Spain or Italy or something like that. And then for the third game, they went to Australia, which is actually pretty cool. There's actually quite a lot of nice Australian countryside stuff to look at and drive through, off-road stuff. And it was also really nice that they let us play around with kind of Australia exclusive cars, like Holden vehicles and FPV. For those that don't know, FPV is Ford Performance Vehicles It's a special division. I hope I'm not hurting the body panels hitting shit like that. It's kind of hard to control this thing when it's got so much power. Yeah, but FPV is a special division of Ford that only seems to operate in Australia. This thing just wants to slide all over the place. I'm barely hitting the gas and it's going sideways. It might have to do with the tires being so skinny in the front and big in the back. If I even them out, that might help it. I don't know. But this thing is nice. I really like it. We're going to go ahead and return to the garage. But yeah, I would really love to play Forza Horizon 3 for you guys. I'm really good at drifting in those games. The physics engine in the Forza Horizon game is so good. It's realistic and it's fun, which the normal Forza Motorsport games, I really don't find them to be all that fun because they're just, I think they're a little too much realistic. I think they tweak the physics engine a little bit for the Horizon games to make them more fun, because you can drift all over the place, and it's insane. I've got a bunch of muscle cars that I've got supercharged V8 motors in them. They're creating all kinds of friggin' horsepower, and they're just frickin' so damn good. Okay, so body condition is 98, parts condition 100, frame, interior both 100. The only reason the global body condition is at 98 is because the two license plates are in crappy condition. Actually, I think there's only one license plate. No, there's a front one. Oh well. I'll have to fix those license, well, you can't fix them, but I'll have to put new ones on there with custom thingamajiggers. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and move the car back into parking. It's a shame that they actually changed it for the console version of the game. See, in the PC version of the game, you can actually go out onto your parking garage. You have like a big parking garage with so many levels, and you can actually go out and walk around in the thing and see each car parked in its own little parking space, and you can look at them and do stuff. You can't do that here. All you do is you click on the door, and it gives you the option of the different levels. You go into each level, and you pick a car, and it brings it into your garage for you. You don't get to actually walk out and look at it. Oh yeah, I have the El Camino, which I have the Magnum engine in, the TBX 2C, which I have the other 2-carb supercharged, and I have a regular 2-carb OHV motor in the other Chieftain. I haven't touched the Typhoon yet. I've been playing with the Gremmy, the Flamo, whatever you want to call it. I think I fixed up the RX-3 a little bit. The Atlanta I fixed up. I think I played a little bit with the Magnum, which is the Charger Daytona flat face, so it doesn't have the cone on the nose, and I can't even put one on. It won't take one. Let me show you my Atlanta, the El Camino. I also put off-road tires on this thing. Where'd it go? It's in the dyno, isn't it? Yeah, it's in the frickin' dyno. Painted it black with a white double stripe. Like I said, I put off-road wheel tires on it, and I believe those are the stock wheels that came with it. Fixed up all the body panels. I got new taillights, headlights. I don't think there was anything custom that I could put on this thing. Looking pretty nice. I didn't really touch the... No, wait, I did. I fixed up the interior. I basically just... yeah. Sit in the thing. It's nice. I've got the Magnum in it, the nice orange one. I don't know if I ever dynoed this thing. Let me take a look at the dyno on this guy real quick. The factory is 326 with the... It probably had like a dual carb or single carb, I'm making 512, which isn't really all that much, actually. 512 horsepower isn't a lot. Yeah. Whatever. There is another version of this car. It's called... What the hell is it even called? There's actually a custom paint job for it. Here. Move it into the paint shop real quick so I can show it to you. And figure out what the damn name of the thing is called. There's a custom livery. You got the paint, you got the different paint. That's what it is. Trespasser. For some reason, there's another version called the Trespasser of this car. And it's like different from the normal one. If I remember correctly, it already has the white stripes. Yes, okay. So we don't need to paint the guy. Yeah. But we got her all fixed up. Again, I don't think there were any custom headlights or tail lights or anything for the... No, wait, there were, but I think they looked kind of dumb, so I didn't bother. And I don't think there was any custom hoods. Body tuning. Old Atlanta. Got a front bumper, headlights, tail lights, rear bumper, and then the other headlight and tail lights. They're all chromed out and kind of bling bling. I ain't really all that... If I can ever find the Trespasser version of this car, I might do those on that. There's not even a custom hood, which kind of sucks. Oh well. Put her back in parking. And one last thing before I stop for the night. I want to show you guys the Gremmy that I made. I'm just ignoring all the people who need my help fixing their cars. The Salem Flamo. Oh yeah, not only that, but I have these cool rims on this car. Takes a minute for it to load. And it's back in the dang paint shop. Yeah, I like those rims, first of all. I have it this kind of dark gray color. I fixed it up before I was able to fix body panels, so some of the body panels are still kind of rusty. I put a custom back bumper on it and tail lights, I believe, as well as a hood, nice little scoop hood. I think the front bumper is custom, and I think the headlights are custom as well. So I made this thing look a little bit nice. Let's get this guy over to lifter A, and I'm going to fix up them parts real quick. Okay, so that guy, probably the door. The windows I don't think I touched yet. And the hood is new, so it shouldn't need repaired. Same thing for the bumpers and the headlights. Okay, the door, the mirrors, the fenders, and the other door. Okay. The window is 96. The other fender, the door, the mirror, the other window. And I also, oh yeah, I put in that steering wheel, which I think was nice. And I think those are the stock seats. I think I left those alone. No. Damn it. Normal mode, open the hood. Right. Oh yes. I actually put the performance parts on this motor. It has a i4 engine block. i4 SOHC, all kind of stuff, performance and all these other parts. condition. If I fix the windows, or not fix, but replace the windows and the license plates, yeah. Yeah, take this guy over to the dyno. Let's see what she makes on the dyno. It's an i4, so it's probably not going to be much. I wanted to put something else, because, I mean, this thing's got kind of a big engine bay in it. You could fit something bigger in there. Like maybe a 6-cylinder, or maybe like a smaller V8, I don't know. But you could fix something else. There's no swap options for this. You look at the swap options, nothing. That sucks. Like, seriously, a small V6, or maybe like a really small V8, you know? I could like turbocharge the thing. I don't know if that's maybe an option. Factory engine power is 114 horsepower and 130 Turks. Now, that's actually something I wanted to correct myself on. In one of the previous videos, I mentioned the show's ignition and up to speed, which I think I said were on the same channel. They're actually not. Up to speed is from the Donut channel, and ignition is from Motor Trend. Okay, so we got 165 horsepower, 182 Turks. So this thing, I mean, I just kind of like the car. It's a shame that there's not more options for it. Oh, the trunk needs fixing. Oh. Okay, well, let's just never mind that. I'm gonna go ahead and call it for the night. I might go ahead and keep fixing this thing up and maybe see if there's anything else I can do to this motor to get some more power out of it, because it's kind of pathetic. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Join us next time for more of Car Mechanic Simulator. Well, we'll probably be working on some more cars. I'm going to go and find some more barn finds, because there's some other cars in the game that I still want to work on. The Trespasser version of the Bolt Atlanta, the El Camino. I think I've actually worked on one as a job. It came with like off-road wheels and tires, and I think it had like a coil spring rear suspension in the back and maybe something different in the front, but it was kind of lifted up a little bit. But yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can find some more cool cars to work on. I think I may have bought, it's like an older model Camaro is what it looks like, but it's not called that anyways. Yeah, so anyways. I'm going to go ahead and call it for the night. So thank you all for watching. Join us next time for more. I will be seeing you later. Thank you all, and good night.